Okay, so an update on the car. So I say a lot. This trunk surround needs to come up so that this fender and the surround sit together, and this actually needs to move over a little bit. And right now there's a little bit of interference in a couple areas. We got interference back in here where the inner fender is, there's some bonding and stuff that needs to come out. I've been digging away at it. Need to do more, but you can see that the spacing between these two is not what it needs to be. So it needs to tighten up a little bit. And there is a bracket up in here. It's very difficult to see. That bracket right there, you'll notice that it has broken in the crash. So I thought I'd be able to salvage that. I was planning on just MIG welding that and tacking it together, and away we go. But I'm finding that this fender is actually sitting too high, and then this bracket's actually holding the trunk surround too low. So I will be trying to secure those brackets to replace them. Same thing on this side. Actually, I already peeled this bracket out. It's sits here. It normally would sit bonded to the trunk surround here, and then bonded, of course, to the aluminum. Finding that I do have a little bit of gap in here. This actually needs to be bonded. On the other side, it's actually quite tight. There appears to be some bend in the aluminum, so I will be just hammering this back in a little bit to get that straight so we get a good bond there. Other than that, many of the things are fitting quite nicely. What they call the boot closer, once we get everything to fit nicely, it will bond quite nicely. Got my clecos in place holding that where it needs to go prior to bonding. And I have not filled in the other trunk surround yet, because if I do, I need to disconnect this wire harness to feed it through the trunk surround. And I don't want to do that because the car is currently drivable. And if I disconnect the rest of this harness, it feeds the fuel tank or fuel pump, so I won't be able to drive the car. But making some progress. I'll see what I need to do. I sent some emails off to the part suppliers to see if I can get these brackets, and if I can get those easily, then I'll pop that one out and continue. Need to, everything layers upon everything. So trunk surround needs to go in first, then inner fender. Inner fender sits on top of this part here. So, until this part's in place, can't place the inner fender, can't place the outer fender. So, next step is to find these brackets somewhere. There's your update, and making progress, slow but sure. It's starting to look kind of like a car. I've been doing some test fitting with the rear tail lights, with the tail light inserts. And it just needs to be, this all needs to be perfect. If this isn't perfect, those taillights will look really, really not great. So better to find the right parts, get it done properly, and end up with a fun project.